Dear students, welcome to the course Science of Consciousness in Ancient India. This is lecture 4. As in the previous lecture, I have explained you the two modes, two types of classification of the Shastra. One was Shruti and Smriti, and second was Agam and Nigam. Today we are going to discuss these 4 diagrams, more possible modes of classification. You can see 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, these 4 figures are representing 4 more types of classifications. So, now one by one I will explain. The first classification is dealing with the Shruti, Smriti and Kavya, 3 things, and second is Paurushe, Aparushe. In the first diagram, Shruti, I have already explained what is Shruti. It is based on the receiving or the method of receiving the knowledge. That's why it is named as Shruti. Second is Smriti, the recollected knowledge, and third is Kavya, the creative knowledge. So, now we are moving to the second diagram, that is contingent and non-contingent, Paurushe and Aparushe. So, Aparushe means the knowledge which consists of, which is not dependent on the individual person, time and space. Sorry. So, you can see like if Vedic corpus or the literature that is not limited or restricted to particular time and space, it becomes Aparushe. And the second is contingent, it is restricted or limited with the individual person, place and time, etc. So, we can see that figure 1.2 1.4 is depicting the second possible classification, where knowledge corpus can be divided into 2 parts, one is contingent, one other is non-contingent. So, in a kind of Aparusheya Shastra, the knowledge is relevant all the time, it is relevant universally, eternally. Okay. That is why we always say that Rig Veda is not a kind of corpus which can be dated back exactly, and there is no question of authorship, copyright and relevance. 3 things are, you can say like these are baseless questions if you try to address them, because it is relevant all the time. It is not dependent or restricted with any special kind of people or person or place or time. So, this is a kind of non-contingent knowledge. Second is Paurusheya, means it is restricted with the authorship of some person in a particular time and space. So, suppose you are writing a book based on your own knowledge, that would be having a kind of copyright and an authorship, and both the things would make that knowledge corpus as restricted within a particular time and space. So, that becomes Paurusheya. Now, the third figure Shastra is Prabhu Samhit, Sruhad Samhit and Kanta Samhit. In the previous course also I have explained what is Prabhu Samhit. The word itself depicts the meaning, Prabhu and then Samhit. Samhit means a kind of thing which is being taken into account with a reference of something. Prabhu Samhit means it is with reference of a kind of authority. Normally, once we use the word Prabhu, what does it mean? Prabhu, God, or Prabhu, any movie dialogue you remember, Prabhu, hey Prabhu. So, Prabhu is also addressed to a king. When we were following that tradition with that kind of a structure, then Hey Prabhu is also used to address a king, means the authoritative person. So, normally Prabhu means a kind of person who is authority, and Prabhu Samhit Shastra is giving us the meaning that words of an authority belonging to the universal laws, like some kind of circulars which are coming from the director or president or prime minister, they are becoming a kind of laws. You can say like they are supposed to be followed. So, they become the words of an authoritative person. In that sense, I explained you that we were following the oral tradition. So, mera vachan hi hai sashan, or vachan is important, the orality dominates. Once you have the words of an authority, then you trust that. that becomes Prabhu Samhita Shastra. So, a kind of Shastra which deals with the words of an authority becomes a Prabhu Samhita Shastra. So, you can understand like any circular. Right now, any circular which is coming on the website after discussion of the CNET or BOG or from director, that becomes a kind of Prabhu Samhita Shastra. It's in a written version. If you are meeting to the director and he is assuring you something like I am giving you words, it would be done, then automatically you would believe him. At the first instance, the words of an authority would become a kind of universal law कि ये होगा क्योंकि उस व्यक्ति ने कहा है वो अथॉरिटी है. So that becomes a kind of shastra. This is also one style which is present in Indian corpus. And the second you can see Sruhed Samhit. Here you see in the Prabhu Samhita Shastra, Shabd is important. The word uttered by the authority is very important, is powerful. It is trustworthy, it is supposed to be trusted. Okay? In Sruhed Samhit Shastra, meaning is more important. What is the Sruhed? Sruhed means friend. Friend, a kind of person who is friendly to you. So the words which are used by a friend, in that case, not all the time you only focus on the word. You don't take account the words, exact words of your friend. कई बार क्या होगा, your friend uses the words in sarcastic way, in a comment form. So in that case you understand that no, he is willing to say this thing, not exactly what he was using or he was saying. So the used words are not becoming able to give the actual meaning. Here words are not so important. What is being meant is more important. So a Sruhed Samhit Shastra is where you can find like the meaning becomes more important than the words. For example, we have Hitopadesh, Niti Shatak. These are the texts where we find a lot of references, a lot of stories which are written in a form of conversation between the friends. Like one friend is saying something or trying to make other to understand something. So in that case of discourse, there is a kind of style of teaching or style of communication which is known as Sruhed Samhit style, Sruhed Samhit Shastra, where meaning is more important, words are not so important. And in that case itself, I have explained the story like Mahajano yene gatah sa pantha. कितने लोगों को याद है? In the last course I explained this story. Mahajano yene gatah sa pantha. नहीं याद है? Okay, in Hitopadesh there is a quote, there is a story. In that story this quote is present. Mahajano yene gatah sa pantha. So in Sanskrit Mahajano become this is derived from where Mahajanaha. So Visarga becomes O, the sound becomes transformed into Okar. Mahajano yena gatah sa pantha, this is the utterance, and the meaning is this word is having two possible meanings. So directly you can have two possible meaning of whole of the sentence. Yena gatah matlab through which, gatah means went. Who went? Mahajan. Now you split the word Mahajan, one is big crowd, बहुत सारे लोग जा रहे हैं जहाँ से, तो जहाँ से बहुत सारे लोग जाते हैं वो रास्ता है. This is one possible meaning. So if a crowd is going on a path, that becomes the right path. This is one possible meaning. Okay. Second possible meaning, Mahajano means Mahan Janaha, great persons. So the path followed by the great persons is the right path. This is the second possible meaning. अब इसको बता दिया, किसने बता दिया? A teacher narrated this story to the student. डायरेक्टली कुछ नहीं सिखाया टीचर ने बच्चे को, ठीक है, कि क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, कुछ नहीं बता रहा है, बस ये बता दिया महाजनो येन गतः स पंथा, एंड देयर आर टू पॉसिबल मीनिंग्स ऑफ महाजन. सो वन स्टूडेंट अंडरस्टूड दैट the path which is taken by a crowd of people is the correct path. Other student understood the meaning that the path which is being followed by great persons is the correct path. अब डिपेंड करता है कि स्टूडेंट की जो समझ है उसके हिसाब से वो कौन सा रास्ता चुनता है, कौन सा अर्थ लगाता है. So here the style of teaching is Shruyad Sammit. You are not forcing anyone, you are not making the person to follow your words as it is. You are leaving the freedom or the liberty to the listener that whatever meaning you comprehend, you can do that, you can do according to that. So this kind of style of teaching or style of creating the corpus is known as Shruyad Sammit Shastra. Understood? Clear? And the third one is Kanta Sammit Shastra. Kanta is beloved or wife. So here neither the words are very important nor the actual meaning is important. Both subsidize to give a more important experience. So when this kind of narration happens where the wife or a beloved is trying to convince you for something but not saying it directly, and she leaves completely up to your understanding that what you should do. So maybe the words like go to hell, I don't want to talk to you, don't call me. So neither the words are important, don't call me उसका ये मतलब नहीं है, मतलब call करो. फिर you are not supposed to do that or do whatever you want to do. So the words are do whatever you want to do, but in reality she is addressing like you are not supposed to do whatever you want to do. Okay, just opposite. Here neither the words are important nor the meaning is important. Both can subsidize to give a more important thing, that is the experience. Here this is the way of style of creation of a corpus that is known as Shruyad Sammit Shastra, that is known as Kanta Sammit Shastra, sorry. So you can see that there are so many illogical unwanted words present in the sentences uttered by a beloved or a wife, but they are not so important. You need not to focus on the direct meaning of the words, neither you are supposed to follow the words as it is. This is Kanta Sammit style of creation of a Shastra. And you can see the example. Example is poetry, any kind of poetry in any of the language. Any kind of poetry in any kind of any possible language deals with the style where words and meaning, direct meaning, subsidize to give more important experience or the feel. Now the next one is the Drisht. The next one is coming from figure 1.6. Drisht, Prokt, Upajyat, Vyakhyan and Krit. First is Drisht, because it is directly perceived, something which is directly seen, that is Drisht. So if you are able to see something and then you are transferring that knowledge to someone either in the way of orality, oral dictation or through scripting, that becomes Drisht. Then Prokt, second one is Prokt. It is taught by somebody and the first one who directly perceived that might be someone else. So it is being taught means somebody who is the authority was able to perceive it at the first instance. So at the first instance it was Drisht and later on it was being taught by that authority to someone else. So this becomes a Prokt. For example, right now a lot of the things when you are studying in biology, you have not seen directly in the lab, but in the books it is written. So what you actually understand, what you actually assume, it's proved, that's why it is in the textbook and that's why I accept it. It becomes a Prokt for you. ठीक है, खुद से नहीं देखा बहुत सारी चीज़ें, बट आपको विश्वास रहता है कि किसी ने देखा है तभी ये हमें आज बताया जा रहा है, तो उस तरीके से आप उसको प्रोक्त की कैटेगरी में लेते हैं. So, it is being taught to you, but it has been directly perceived by someone else at the first instance. Then third one is upajjata. Upajjata means the sub-discovery of the knowledge. Sub-discovery, a kind of second discovery, second possible way of discovering something. For example, there were total 10,000 sutras in Ashtadhyayi of Panini. Panini is the Vyakaran of Sanskrit, its normal understanding, but he is the grammarian of Bhasha, not only Sanskrit, because the rules of Sandhi, Samas, case, karak, they are applicable universally in all the languages, not only in Sanskrit. That is why Panini, when created Ashtadhyayi, the corpus which is very popular right now in the name of the textbook of grammar of Sanskrit, he summarized the 10,000 sutras of the Vyadi. Vyadi is that Acharya who already laid down the corpus, but in 10,000 sutras. So, एक व्याड़ी नाम के व्यक्ति ने जो ग्रामर तैयार करी थी जिसमें 10,000 फॉर्मूले थे, उसको उन्होंने कंप्रेस कर दिया, समराइज करके 4,000 सूत्रों में 4,000 फॉर्मूलाज में प्रेजेंट कर दिया. दिस इज द वे ऑफ क्रिएशन ऑफ सब डिस्कवरिंग अगेन. सो इफ यू आर टेकिंग इन फ्यूचर और एनी काइंड ऑफ रिसर्च, in the next coming lectures I will explain research methodology coming from the Nyaya Vaisheshik. So, if you are taking a kind of research where something has already been done, but you are going to bring that knowledge again in some other way, that becomes a sub discovery, that is coming under the head upajjata. Then Vyakhyana. Vyakhyan means commentary text. When you want to put up an elaborate discussion or elaborate explanation of something, that becomes a Vyakhyana, a kind of commentary text. For example, you invite so many speakers to give lectures on something or on some topic or some theme. They do what? They present their own understanding on that theme. That is a kind of commentary text. So, this is Vyakhyana, explanation of something, but according to you. This is Vyakhyana. Last is Krita, means creative knowledge, like any kavya or poetry or creative one that you have authorized. So, you are the authority, you are the author. So, if you summarize the previous slide, the following possible way of questions possible. That is why I am not saying कि मैं आपको सारे questions दे रही हूँ. This is a sample how you can understand possible questions from that particular slide. For example, how many modes of classification of IKS are possible? Number 1, answer the question. How many modes of classification of IKS are possible? Answer the question. How many modes you have studied? Till now, I have explained few of the diagrams. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. So, how many modes of classification of Indian knowledge systems are possible? 6. The answer is 6. Then differentiate Apaurushey and Paurushey. What is Apaurushey? The knowledge which is not restricted to particular place, time or person is Apaurushey, and that which is just opposite of that is Paurushey. Give one example. If I extend the same question, give one example of Apaurushey. Apaurushey corpus. Apaurushey corpus. IKS पढ़ा रही हूँ ना अभी तो. Ved is Apaurushey. Okay. Then explain the classification of IKS done based on the words and meaning. Words and meaning. The classification which is based on Prabhu Samhita, Kanta Samhita and Suhrid Samhita. Suhrid. Writing is important. आप लोग this time I am announcing, this time you would be having the liberty to write in 3 possible languages, English, Hindi and Sanskrit. So, if you are able to write this word Suhrid like this one, then you can write it in the examinations. So Suhrid Samit, Suhrid is friend. In IAST it is like Suhrid, but in Devanagari it is Suhrid. Rikara is inside of the ha. Got it? And this classification is based on words and meaning. Clear? Now, suppose fill in the blanks are coming in one mark question. Then first one is directly perceived knowledge, drishta. Another answer which is directly perceived knowledge, darshan. Another answer possible, डायरेक्टली परसीव नॉलेज, वेद, श्रुति. ठीक है, देखो 3 आंसर आ गए. श्रुति जो है वो भी डायरेक्टली परसीव्ड ही है, सुना है इसलिए श्रुति कहते हैं. सो यू कैन से लाइक वेदास आर ऑल्सो डायरेक्टली परसीव्ड नॉलेज. If the same sentence is carrying dash is directly perceived knowledge based on logical explanation, then it is becoming darshan. Logical exposition तभी होगा जब उसमें दर्शन का लॉजिकल एक्सप्लेनेशन का मतलब ही है कि यू आर एनालाइजिंग अ सीन इवेंट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द लॉजिक्स. ओके, दैट इज दर्शन. एंड राइट नाउ यू हैव अंडरस्टूड द वर्ड दृष्ट. सेकेंड इज taught by somebody. The first one who directly perceived, that might be someone else. What is that? Prokta. Sub discovery of knowledge, upajjat. Now see how to write. Upajjat. This is the, in Devanagari it would be jat, then upajjat. So upajjat. Upajjat, it means again became known to us. So it's a sub discovery. That which means the commentary text. Commentary text, Vyakhyan, correct. So if you in future you are going to invite a guest lecture in your department and you wish to have the flyer in Indian languages, what word would be used? Vyakhyan. ठीक है? You are calling a chief guest or a guest a dignitary to give the lecture. So lecture is normally translated in the word Vyakhyana. Then last is creative knowledge, like kavya is krit. Krit means that which is being done. Krit. Okay. So this is the way how the questions can be given to you in the examination. These are the few of the questions, sample questions. You can practice all other possible questions from the slides. So this is sufficient for today's lecture. Thank you.